second grade. Welcome back to Art with Miss Yazel. Let's look at our I Can today. I can illustrate a physical activity. So a physical activity is when you're up moving around, and I hope that you are getting lots of exercise and getting up and moving around outside, especially when it's pretty outside. So we're going to illustrate. Illustrate means to draw something, draw what it looks like. So a physical activity is when someone's doing something where they're moving. It could be running, it could be swimming, it could be riding your bike, it could be lots of things that you do outside when you play. Um, so physical activity can be almost anything that you do outside, or if you exercise inside, it could be the movements that you make when you exercise also. So we're going to look at an artist who did some artwork where the people look like they're moving. Now they don't have faces, but you can tell where the arms, the legs, and the head and the body are. And then he used some little lines to indicate that these people are moving, but you can tell the positions that their bodies are in, that they are moving around. And in this picture, we have an example of how you could use paper, like rectangles and pipe cleaners, to bend them to make the arms and the legs. But I'm going to show you how to do it just by drawing a stick figure and then drawing an outline around it to create the look of a person who is moving. Okay, so we're going to try to imitate this artist. His name was Keith Haring, and he loved to draw these outlines of people, and they always look like they're in motion. Here is a picture. Oh, that didn't. Okay, I need to move my head. This picture is some action figures by some second graders. So what you're going to need for this lesson is some colored construction paper. And we are working in what's called complementary colors, complementary pairs. So we are using blue and orange, which is one complementary pair that you could choose from, because these two colors make each other look good. So if we cut out a figure out of one color and glue it to the other, then it'll really stand out. So if you look at this artwork by these second graders, they have done the same thing. Complementary pairs, blue and orange, yellow and purple, and red and green. So you choose which complementary pair is your favorite, so that when you cut out a figure out of one color, you can glue it to the other color and make it really stand out. So we're going to be drawing a little bit, we're going to be cutting, and we're going to be gluing. So what does that tell you we need? We need our scissors, and we need our glue, and we need some paper. Since we sometimes don't have everything we need, sometimes we have to improvise. So if you are improvising, you will need to get some white paper, and I cut this to 6 by 6, and you can color the background of both of these, one of the complementary pairs. So again, the complementary pairs are orange and blue, yellow and purple, or red and green. So when I was passing out paper, I had some boys and girls not understand that they had to use the two colors as a team. These are partners and they can't be broken up. So somebody asked me for blue and green, and I said, well, green will show up on blue, it will, but it's not a complementary color to blue. It is actually next to blue on the color wheel, which makes it something called analogous. So we're looking at complementary colors, which are across from each other on the color wheel, okay? So they make each other look good because they're far enough away that one is lighter than the other. So gather up your scissors, glue, and paper, and join me, and I'll show you what to do. Okay, so we have our construction paper colors here, and we have some white paper. Boys and girls that only have white paper. Again, you're going to have to color this. You're going to get your crayons or markers and you're going to color the whole thing blue or orange or purple or yellow or green, whatever color you chose for your background. Lots of people like to use the light color for the figure and the dark color for the background, but you could definitely do the opposite and draw your figure on the darker color and glue it to the lighter color. It's just harder to see when you color or draw on construction paper with a pencil. So I am going to show you on one of the lighter colors. But if you're, like I said, if you're doing this and you do not have colored paper, then you will need to color one paper, all one color. Then when you draw your figure, then you can color him in only and cut him out. You don't have to color the whole paper that you're drawing the figure on, because that would just be, because you're just wasting your time if you color the whole thing. So on the white paper, I'm going to show you how to draw your stick figure. So you got to decide, how is this figure moving in space? Like where are the arms and legs? What position is the body in? If I am leaning to one side, then my body is at an angle, isn't it? And if I am standing on one leg, then that one leg is going straight down to hold me up. So, and then the other leg is off the floor because I'm at an angle here. So that other leg is not touching the floor, is it? So I've got two legs, and then what are my arms doing? Are they doing something silly? Are they going straight up in the air like I'm saying, yay? The arm should be around here. I'm going to make that one go up like that. Make this one go up like that. And then once you've drawn it really big on this piece of paper, then you're going to start from the head and you're going to trace an outline around, don't make the body too skinny, around your stick figure. And you know what? I know this is a lot of lines, but guess what? When you cut this out, you can flip it over so that the lines do not show. All those drawing lines don't show. So I would draw my figure. I would color my figure, whatever color. Oh, sorry. I'm going to flip it because when I cut it out, we want it to be colored on this side because this is the side I'm going to use. So I'm going to, why am I not being neat? Why am I not staying in the lines? Because I'm going to cut it out using the lines that are on the back. So I don't need to be able to see this side when I cut. But if I hold it up to the light, I can see whether I've colored all of the parts that are included in the shape. Okay, everything looks colored. I'm going to go ahead and get some more color on that toe there. Then I'm going to flip it over and look at the lines, and I'm going to cut on the line that is the outline, not the stick figure line. And you notice I didn't bother with fingers and things because it is just too hard to cut around. And you notice that his figures that were moving, Keith Haring's, they did not have arms or fingers and toes. They just had the suggestion or the outline of the body. Because we're interested in trying to create a figure that looks like it's moving. And it doesn't have to have fingers and a face to make it look like it's moving. It just has to have the motion or the position that your body is in. That foot is a little bit bigger than the other, so I'm going to trim it there so that it's not bigger than the other foot. That would be funny, one foot bigger than the other. Seriously, some people do have one foot bigger than the other. Their shoes don't fit very well. Okay, so I've got my figure cut out and whatever color background. And since this is a kind of a purpley color, I could do my background yellow, or if I considered this a reddish color, I could do my background in green. But the whole color need. So, and then I would take my glue and stick it on the back. Same thing if you were using an orange piece. Draw your stick figure, outline your stick figure, cut out your stick. Make sure you draw big. Boys and girls, I gave them this 6x6 piece of paper, which is not very big. I mean, my hand will fit on it, but they wanted to draw something this big in the corner, and they had all this space to use. Make sure you draw big, and that when you cut it out, you are very careful with your scissors, and then you glue it down so that it looks like he is moving. And if you want to add the suggestion of movement, like this arm just went up, and that arm and this leg just went out and up, and this leg is staying still, right? So we can't put movement lines there. But we could suggest movement with those lines that indicate motion. Happy creating, second grade.